Guys, deluded Guna. Seville 2, Arsenal 1. We win the Emirates Cup despite losing today because of the goals and how the points thing work out. And our pre-season preparations for the season are done. Yes, we've got to go to Wembley, and typically that is the curtain raise and the Community Shield's nothing to write home about. But for me, that is going to be a competitive game. We beat Chelsea in the FA Cup. It's a big game. Win that game. Take momentum into the new season. So it's not a pre-season fixture by any means by the imagination, but it is. But yeah, going into the game, we knew yesterday, yeah, we won that game, and we knew there was going to be a lot of changes. Lacazette came into the side, can really say he made his full home debut. Yeah, it's not an official game, but yeah, Ox came into the side, Ozil came into the side, Joe Willock, who impressed in on our tour of Asia, came into the side, Danny Wells, Koscielny, Czech, Monreal. I don't think I'm missing anyone else out. If I am, you're gonna have to forgive me. I think Rambo was there as well. Yeah, so very much a strong side, and you could argue a better side than we put out than yesterday. I was keen to see how Wells and Lacazette were together. Speak about that in another vid. But yeah, oh yeah, Bellerin and Monreal came into the side as well. So yeah, going into the game, we knew, no disrespect to Benfica, but Seville were going to test us a bit more. We're going to want to try a bit more. Going to want to have more of a go. We knew what we were going to get ourselves into on that front. We know they're a Spanish side. They're very good in possession, and the first 10 minutes were very cagey. There weren't much in it for both sides. In fact, you could say the same for really the first half. We got a warning sign from Seville, I'd say. 15th minute, Ava Benega, I believe. Excellent ball in between our centre halves, El Nene and Koscielny. I think it was Koscielny. Sliced them both. They're both open. Ben Yedder hit the post. I think Ben Yedder had a decent game today, and Seville's a decent club and a big club. But I do believe he could play for a couple Premier League sides. I was impressed with his movement. Yeah, like I said, there wasn't really much in it. If I'm first half, I'd actually give it to Seville. I wasn't happy with our defending. At times we were caught, whether it was 2 versus 1 in defense, or sometimes we were actually outnumbering the attackers. But because of the way we like to defend, the hesitancy, I don't know what it is after that. But yeah, they were still getting in regards to the move, they were still getting to the advantage. I mean, you're outnumbering attackers; they shouldn't be able to pull anything out. And I don't know how many clean sheets we've kept this preseason, but the one thing I told you guys I wanted to see going into this season is an emphasis on defending as much as scoring goals, and real emphasis on keeping clean sheets on defending, because defense wins you titles. If you look at Leicester City, the best example, of course, there's not going to be a Leicester City every season, but they started off with a back four/back five of stability. Casper Schmeichel, nothing to write home about. Fuchs the same. Wes Morgan, he's Jamaican, so of course he's elite. But the same goes for him. Hoof and whoever they played right back, I think it was Simpson. They were all nothing to write home about them individually, but they had a serious system. If the defense didn't do their job, then Kante would have had nothing to screen and defend. Kante didn't do his job. The likes of Vardy and Mahrez and etc. wouldn't have been unlocked to do what they want to do. So you build from the back, you win titles. You cannot show me a team that's won the league, the Premier League, with a crap defense. There isn't none. I'll stand corrected if you guys can show me one. But yeah, like I said, there wasn't really much in it. I'd say Seville probably had the majority of the chances. Czech had to be equal to a lot. 21st minute, I do believe we could have went in front. Oxen and Lacazette, lovely team building, lovely general play between the two. Ox did very well, whipped a ball in. Bellerin found unmarked. I know he's not an attacker per se, but he should be doing much better. Ox blazed over a free kick, which was disgraceful as well. It just came into my head. Ramsey in the 31st minute made excellent space for himself and fired just wide. And yeah, there wasn't really much in it. Joe Willock, I know he was impressive on the tour, but he probably looked a bit out of his depth. When he did have the ball, initially he was a steady Eddie. He wasn't keeping anything, keeping the ball longer than he needed to, trying anything unordinary. And he was being picked apart in that regards. I think he played too safe. He could have played a bit more expansive. I've spoken previously how he's one of the youngest in his scholar groups, and we need to wait for him to develop physically. You saw that today. You also saw playing on the edge of his own area, doing flicks on the edge of his own area, giving the ball away cheaply. All things I've said about Maitland-Niles in academy football, and it applied to Joe Willock today, obviously. In academy football, we get away with it at this level. I know it was a pre-season game, but it was against a top side in Seville, the best men's side he's played of recent date. You get to see where you're supposed to be. Of course, you can forgive him. He's 17. He was obviously overruled somewhat by the occasion, playing at the Emirates for the first time, etc. Yes, he's played in pre-season, but you get my drift. He did look out of his depth, and he was getting picked apart, especially in the final third as well. So there wasn't really much on that. Second half, both sides came out even stronger in my opinion. Seville, we have to give it to them. They took the lead. Like I spoke about the ball over the top in the first half. They warned us, and they deserved their goal. It wasn't fair enough. A ball came over the top. It was cut out. There was a bit of a scruffle. I think it was Correa. Was he onside? Was he offside? I think he was onside. It was an excellent run, and he just had to guide it past check. They go 1-0 up, and after that, typically again we wake up. There's more of an emphasis. We're getting more joy. Ox had an excellent game today down the right, terrorized that young French left back, terrorized their left back, strength, power, and yeah, I believe he could move into central midfield. But fullback, he looks like he's doing it, and depending on how we set up, he's gonna give Bellerin a run for his money. And you backed Ox to get our equaliser. To be honest, excellent run. I think it was in the 62nd minute. Excellent run down the right hand side. No one can stop him. Done very well to keep a cool head. Eventually, it falls to Lacazette in the box, and that's what we signed him for. Lacazette deserved this goal today. I do think we need time, and I'm going to allude to that into another video. I do think we need to take our time with him. He's doing the right things. He's still putting himself about. He's getting involved. He's coming deep. He's going long. You saw a number of incidences. Like there was one, despite his height, he headed it down for someone. He's doing the right things. Probably, but for the same, me saying that there's incidences where there's miscommunication and things, so he's probably lacking on confidence, not that on himself, but he wants to prove what he can do for the club, and hopefully that goal gave him the confidence. His performance, it wasn't the best, but it was a decent showing from him, and it did deserve that. It's just a shame it didn't last long. Oh yeah, we can't talk about Wells missing that. I mean, Wells, he had a good game today, but he shows just what he'll never be. Imagine if Wells could actually finish and a natural finisher, how good he'd be. There's a lot of incidences where he miskicks it. I'm so sure he did that at Wembley, correct me if I'm wrong, but I love Wells, and he put in a shift today, and him and Lacazette could potentially be something exciting in certain games. But yeah, we can 2-1 Lacazette. I mean, not Lacazette. It wasn't Lacazette, it was Nzonzi. Seville went 2-1 up. Lovely finish by Nzonzi. Czech couldn't do nothing. Rooted outside the area. Lovely shot with his weaker foot, I believe. His left foot. I stand corrected if I'm wrong about that. If I am harsh, again, typical Arsenal. Like we saw Hazard at Stamford Bridge. Slow to engage. You need to get out and engage. Get out and engage. And yeah, they went 2-1 up. There was nothing we could do. We lost the game, but we won the tournament. If I'm real critical, we're still struggling to break teams down. There was a stronger side in the second half, especially when we're chasing the game. There was more likely than not our first team regulars, and they really struggled to break down Seville. And these are the things we're talking about. If Arsenal are to go and win the league, they need to learn how to break down sides. We need to be the same logic. We need to be unbreakable. We need to be very resolute defensively. We need to take as much pride in clean sheets as we do in these nice little Wenger ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches. Everybody touching it and putting it in, walking it into the back of the net. That's just me. I haven't seen these sort of things, and I hope I see it in the season if we're going to have any chance of any success and be in a different position at the end of the season. Of course, you can't draw too many games from conclusion, but this is more me speaking of the wider thing. Final note, I did feel the ref was a bit biased towards us. Bellerin and Monreal got a number of favourable fouls, especially one in the first half for Monreal. But yeah, guys, Deluded Gooner, I'm signing out. Get in the comments. Subscribe if you've got any opinions. Hit me up. Yeah, I'm out.